Hello everyone and welcome back to Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. We are in the midst of the third class trial, attempting to figure out who the killer of Angie Yonaga is, as well as, now as we're pivoting over, Tenko's murderer as well. We determined last time that it was not a ghost. It was not a summoned transfer student.
Although it could have been, according to Monokuma, but...
Yeah, according to Monokuma, that would have worked, but the ritual did not see its way to completion. Additionally, we figured out how the door was locked by the culprit, and we realized that they used the katana impaled into the effigy hung from the ceiling and spun it around to lock the door. Absolutely wild. Mm-hmm. Can't believe that much thought went into this. But we also, so there's been a lot of back and forth of like, oh, who's suspicious? Kokichi is stirring the pot as always. And now we have, after some back and forth, determined that we should be pivoting over to Tenko's case, because in order to put everyone essentially at ease and settle this completely, we need to also understand what happened with Tenko's murder as well as Angie's. Mm-hmm. So we are jumping over to talk about Tenko's case a little bit, and we'll see where that takes us.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
They're not wrong, but I don't mind going over Tenko's case. But that was an abrupt change of topic. Was that intentional?
Also a good point that I didn't even think about until there's a lot of this trial is Shuichi being a little bit ahead of me on a couple things. So that is an interesting point, that maybe they're like, okay, let's change the subject so we can talk about something else and not worry about Angie's murder. Okay. Good point, Shuichi.
So what do we talk about first?
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Crotch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious. Crotch!
Yeah.
The people who attended the seance
were Korekio, Kokichi, Himiko, Kokichi. That one.
Yeah.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Just the top one.
That's it.
Love it when it's the first one.
Yeah.
It was me, Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi.
But we figured out in our investigation underneath the floorboards that it could have been someone not in the seance.
Right, but they have to get there.
Yeah, we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
So those four are the culprits!
Not necessarily you.
Oh, Himiko's still culprit?
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the four is really Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes? If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either.
What are you saying?
I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
Oh, that is true. However, there are 3 empty rooms. Which one shall we use?
The middle room. The middle room's always best for stuff like this.
Very well. I shall begin the preparations at once. Himiko.
Oh, right.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
A point of entry from outside. He must be referring to...
So that means Kyo knows about that, I suppose? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do I just have to click in the vague area over here?
Probably.
Okay.
There!
Okay.
Got it.
That's funny.
You're talking about under the floor, right? Huh? Under the floor?
Oh yeah, you don't know anything.
Unfortunately, he literally knows nothing.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person could move through.
Now, if Himiko did it, why the hell would she do it? Huh. Why?
I mean, Tsumugi was blaming Tenko for Angie's death prior to this? Prior to Tenko's death?
Yeah, so maybe Himiko was thinking that Tenko did it. And she keeps saying, like, I would want to apologize to her and stuff like that. Ooh, that's fucked up. Ooh, that would be real bad. Ooh. That would be so interesting if it was Tenko that did it and then Himiko killed Tenko. That
would be very interesting.
That would be really interesting. Yeah, and maybe is this why we're trying to move away from, like, if Himiko is trying to direct away from figuring out who killed Angie because she knows that suspects that it was Tenko, but then we can investigate further and figure out that Himiko killed Tenko. Technically, that means that Himiko would get away with it, right?
Unless there's
another rule here.
That's a question for Monokuma.
Yep. Okay.
From what we know, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
That means
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
Yeah, unless the hole is like... I mean, the hole would be a very interesting red herring. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, that would be a really interesting red herring. Because we know that Himiko is near the hole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
Well, two different holes. One hole in the upper floor.
Hole in the upper floor, yeah. But the hole connecting the rooms, they would be like, okay, I don't know. That's just... Ooh, I feel like there's some fuckery that could be going on here.
Possible.
Okay.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Yeah, there's that though. Yeah.
Another suspect? Who?
It's appearing before me. Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
Non-stop debate.
Non-stop debate. Okay. We've got the caged child, loose floorboards, Kibo's flashlight function,
sneaked in during the seance,
and then hole in the corner
by crawling under the floor.
I like this text.
Yeah, this looks cool.
This is cool.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor.
It's a candle.
You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean Kibo's flashlight function.
Kibo did know the
Now, hold on a second.
seance. We've already ruled out a light under the floor, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not that. I think that's what we're doing right now. But you and I have ruled out.
Right,
light
because
under
like
the floor.
we would have to see it come up from under the floor.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said, hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second.
His eyes are lighting up.
It's true that with a little light, you could move around under the floor. But is that possible?
The culprit sneaked in during the seance.
Hold on. I'm gonna read this here. There's hole in the floor. Yeah. There was space under the floor so you could see. Okay, and then Kibo's flashlight function that Mew added to Kibo. His eyes commit a blinding light from his eyes. So it's probably not that, because I feel like we would have seen that. The caged child. From the caged child, you need 5 people. This is just explaining the whole thing. I don't think that's coming into play yet.
I figure it's the hole in the corner.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Hole in the corner, and he used that function to do it.
But it was pitch black during the seance.
Here's my article.
See if they were under the floor.
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
It might be that one, actually.
You mean candle?
Oh, wait.
No, it wasn't a candle.
No, it wasn't a candle.
I mean
it was
Kibo's flashlight function.
shit.
Huh?
Now, hold on a second.
Do I need to grab candle?
Kibo could have used that
No.
function to get under the floor.
I think it's hole in the
and sneak
corner.
into the empty room during the seance.
And
What-
it's
what am I
either our villain had a
refuting?
light
Hold on a
or
second.
it's this upcoming
He
one.
used his robot functions to commit the
I
murder.
guess. Okay, I see what you mean. So if it's hole in the floor, hole in the corner, versus.
We don't think a light could be under the floor.
Yeah, exactly. So
The culprit
someone had
sneaked
to
in during the-
go underneath. Okay.
Because it wasn't dark.
Well, I mean, even
You
if somebody
see,
was underneath, they couldn't
our
use a
villain
light. I
had
think
a
it's this
light.
one.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wrong!
Okay. Okay.
I don't think the culprit could have used a light while under the floor.
Right.
It doesn't matter whether it was Kibo or not.
No.
There was a
no.
hole in the corner of the room.
So the light would have appeared
Yeah.
through the hole in the floor.
Yeah.
Right.
If a light were used, it would have leaked through and we would have seen it.
Exactly.
But when we did the seance, the room was definitely pitch black.
So a light was not shined under the floor, which means you cannot claim I am the culprit.
Or at least you didn't use your
Jeez.
eyeballs.
Here I thought this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot. My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats. My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
Oh, Kibo.
Oh, Kibo.
I was created to be the most normal thing ever.
Which, you know what?
So
well done.
underwhelming. Just a guy.
Well done to your creator. Did a great job.
Yeah.
All right, you made your point. God, now I feel sort of bad for you.
I neither want nor need your pity.
I will turn my lights on.
Flashlight! It's way too bright!
It would have been difficult to move around under the floor in that pitch black darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
Then why was floorboard under Tenko lined up funny?
Yeah.
Going to think that was so culprit could stab Tenko from under floor.
Ooh, nice observation, Gonta. Are you finally getting used to the class trials?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff.
Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that.
Huh.
Ah, that's funny. Good callback, Tsumugi.
I appreciate it, Tsumugi.
Yep.
That'd let the culprit find her. Then they could stab her through the floorboards.
Yep. I like how the game was like, you're probably thinking about.
Yeah, and they're like, we're not going to
Danganronpa
do the
2
same
right now."
thing again.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Boy, that sounds really familiar too. But I'm just gonna ignore it.
That's funny.
Her corpse didn't have any trace of glowing paint, though.
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
I like how they actually did entertain that for a second.
Yep.
That's so good.
The loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right? If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
What in the... Huh. Wait. Sorry, I'm just trying to think about how the person got into the cage.
It's a great question.
Okay.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit!
We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however. Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
What other issue?
Perhaps first, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
When? So not during seance?
Tenko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there?
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage.
That's not possible. She was alive at that point.
Because she called out from under the cage, right? Yeah. This is the... Yeah, we read this.
Yeah.
So this is the point where she acknowledges she's underneath.
Yep.
I won't say a word until the seance is over. Yep.
Yes. She was unmistakably alive when the seance began.
That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back...
The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
So she was killed when the room was dark?
But she was inside Cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
There was a big toppling noise. But like the cage and the dog god statue and the sheet and everything were all still in place. But I don't know what the toppling noise could be. Unless, I mean, I thought it was just the floorboards moving or something. But it was a big noise.
It was a big noise. It was big to the point where when Kyo mentioned somebody tripping, Shuichi's like, it seemed louder than that.
It was louder, yeah. Which is, and then Shuichi was like, that's weird that Kyo tried to deflect that a little bit. Yeah.
Then she wasn't killed when the room was dark. It was a different time.
A different time?
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads.
Huh?
Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'm proposing an alternate theory. Now hurry up and think! If you want to make my golden brain tingle, start circle jerking your limp dick brains!
I'm just saying words now. Okay.
Yes. But she's like, just come up with
Figure
something.
it out.
If it's
Okay.
impossible, then do something different.
Marker stone,
When
iron cage,
Tenko
white
got
sheet.
killed.
I think it might be white sheet.
It
Then there's
wasn't
dog
during the
statue.
seance.
It could not have been done at any other time.
Yeah.
She was under the cage the whole time. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment Cage was lifted?
Like that.
I think
When
it might be
Cage
white
lifted,
sheet
culprit
when
stabbed
Cage
Tenko real
was
fast.
lifted
So fast, no one saw.
because there's blood on it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Let it run.
who lifted the
through real
cage?
quick.
It was me.
Is Himiko? Yeah. So they're gonna
Then
think.
obviously Himiko is the culprit.
You think Himiko's the culprit?
There's no doubt.
Dog statue. I'm thinking it's white sheet because it has the blood on it.
I think that's a good call. And you pointed that out earlier, so
Yeah.
it's kind of nice.
Again, like I said, order
for
of
that one to come
operations.
back around.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Order of operations was the thing
Yeah.
that was really getting me. Yep.
Tenko not being killed during the seance? That might not be impossible, but there's no evidence for it.
Yeah.
When Tenko got killed,
Okay.
it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any
No, she was killed. I think she was killed.
Under the cage the whole time.
Oh shit!
And
Fuck.
she was dead when the cage was
Wait,
Wait,
why
that
did
wasn't
you shoot
right.
that one? Yeah.
No, I pressed the wrong button. I was trying to
Okay.
speed up.
What about moment Cage was lifted?
Did I miss? Ah!
Wild.
What the fuck?
Impressive.
How did that
The
happen?
double whiff.
The double whip.
Oh my god.
When Tenko got
That was amazing.
It could not have been done at any other time.
Wow.
She was under the cage the whole time. And she was
dead.
dead when the cage was lifted.
It's so funny.
Cage was lifted.
Come on.
Come on. Noise. All right, there we go.
I didn't get the V spot.
No,
Whatever.
that's wrong.
Okay.
No, it wasn't possible to kill her the moment the cage was lifted,
Because there's blood on the sheet.
because the inside of the white cloth had Tenko's blood on it.
There we go.
That cloth was removed before the cage was lifted.
Mm-hmm.
If Tenko was stabbed then, there wouldn't be blood on the cloth.
what? But how could my golden brain be wrong when it felt so right?
The only possibility is that Tenko was killed during the seance.
I got your remodel right here.
I knew she wasn't going to go down without a fight.
No, it's still wrong to think that Tenko was killed during the seance.
What?
I'm gonna prove it right now. My golden brain is gonna go all out!
Girl, no. Okay.
Bring it on.
All right.
Sword fight. We love a sword fight.
Do we? Okay. Marker stone, loose floorboard, iron cage, iron cage
died
potentially.
after the seance. It happened when the sheet was lifted. That was the moment the culprit chose to stab the fuck out of Tanko through the cage. They stuck the thin blade through the gaps of the cage. And that clean white sheet got stained blood red!
Okay, do I have to
But
do
the weapon was a sickle.
fast one? No, I don't remember.
Only the blade could have fit through the gaps.
Okay, that's what they're talking about.
The blade's all you need.
Ah, that does a double.
Blade through a gap in the cage. It'd be long enough to reach Tenko.
I gotta go this way.
Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
Actually,
sit-
sickle. Oh shit.
It's the stone, I thought.
Oh right, the marker stone.
Because we already talked about the fact that her position was going to be important.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I think, okay, we got to bring it back.
Yeah.
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade
shit.
through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko.
They get him.
Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
Nice.
Got it.
Cut through your words.
Okay. Whew. That one wasn't so bad. No. That one I just needed to
Wait just a minute.
take a breath.
Tanko wasn't
Yeah.
sitting down inside the cage.
Exactly. She was kneeling over.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know that. She wasn't involved in any of the prep.
She was bent over with her forehead against the marker stone.
Yeah. You're right. Mia just didn't know that.
Yep.
And the cage itself was about
Because her
3 feet
logic is
tall.
actually pretty sound otherwise.
Uh-huh.
It's just, she just was missing info.
Yep. She just wasn't there when the seance happened, so she didn't know that happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
The sickle's blade was too short to reach Tenko while she was in that position.
Then I messed up again? How could this happen? I am so embarrassed.
No worries, Mew. Everyone already knows you're an embarrassment to the human race.
Jesus. God damn.
Yeah, no worries.
No, Gonta.
How embarrassing!
If Shuichi is right, then it's impossible for Tenko to have been killed through the cage.
She couldn't have been killed during the seance since she was in the cage, right?
If she was killed then, the cloth over the cage would have been pierced.
Not during the seance or from below the floor. Then it's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, for a living person.
We want to do this, buddy? You want to do this, Kokichi?
Okay.
And Kira's like, the seance worked!
Really? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's what, I think that's where Kokichi's
is that Tenko got possessed by Angie, and then Angie killed Tenko, the vessel. Now that's fascinating.
That's a theory.
That's where we're about to go with this, I think.
Huh?
Oh, Kaito's gonna nope out of here. He's gonna hop on. He's gonna hop on the elevator and get out.
Undead murders? No.
What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
What are you talking about? That's not possible.
I guess this is that. Then Kyo's gonna be like, yeah, like you said, it worked.
That's why.
That's why.
That's why.
Because she was instantly killed by the ghost.
Whew, that's a relief. I thought I was getting rusty, but no.
Murder solved.
We don't know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but not for a spirit.
Then where did she get the sickle?
What?
Don't say stupid stuff like
Summoned
that.
it.
Screw spirits.
That's Angie's superpower.
Yeah.
Stop that now.
Angie's spirit killed Tenko? Why?
Himiko?
Why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko?
What if Tenko killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge?
That's what I was saying.
Like I said, that's impossible. Spirits can't be culprits.
Then explain
Monokuma!
how
Yeah?
the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances.
It had to be a ghost. Monokuma?
Can ghosts kill?
Are ghosts real?
You know what? Sure. Add it to the handbook. If a ghost kills, they are the blackened. And I'll figure out a way to kill them twice. Don't you worry. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's what you'll get in this game, is that you will get killed twice. Yeah.
I will make it happen.
Well,
See? You can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done it!
wait, I know. What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage?
Well, like they Spider-Man? but we picked up the cage.
He wasn't there. He wasn't
Nobody
there.
knows!
If they were in there, they could have stabbed Tenko during the seance.
No, if there was someone else in the cage, we would have
I
noticed.
agree with Kaito. The culprit could have been inside the cage.
Y'all.
That part is fair.
Yes. The culprit came
But
up.
not the
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Corner cling.
Right. Someone came up from the floor and was in the cage and killed Tenko. That's what I believe.
I think the problem they're having is that that's hard.
Yeah, because it's hard to move the floor. It's hard to get up in there.
You have to do it in absolute pitch black.
Right.
It's just a series of it's one of those things where it's like, I guess it's possible, but it's a series of incredibly difficult maneuvers.
Right. Unless it wasn't someone from the seance, but someone knew that the seance was happening.
And was under the floor
and
the
they
whole
were
time.
under the floor waiting the whole time. Right. And like it was planned. Also, there's some weirdness because there is like fresh blood and not fresh blood.
That is true.
On the floorboard there. So
And there was prep done.
And there was prep done. Yeah, that piece was that beam was cut in order to move the board. So,
You do?
Nonsense. There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide.
Maybe the culprit wouldn't need to hide in the first place.
What?
What?
Also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at, right?
Oh, she's going a different direction. She's referring to.
I don't know. What direction are you going? Oh, what in the hell? We have to make a selection?
Yeah, I think she's referring to Tenko.
That Tenko
was in the cage, and she could have killed the person in the cage at any time.
Yeah, I see what she's saying. Here, let me. Is this confirmed?
We don't have to agree with it, but
no. Let me see.
I believe Maki is referring to Tenko herself.
So she's suggesting that Tenko did it?
Yeah.
Okay. That Tenko killed herself.
Click.
What did you say?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
In that position, sorry, I'm miming again. Great.
Yes,
Gotta
sorry.
love. But in that position, that's more. But it's a sickle is still
like that's a huge like.
If she would have, yeah, I think it's unlikely because she would have had cuts on her hands. With that angle, the only way to do that would be to.
Why would she
grip
have
the blade?
Would she have to grip the blade?
If you had
grip the handle, right?
Well, think about in that position where she's like this, and she has one hand. How would you, with the handle, then, like that's really hard.
Right. It's also one hit too.
Yeah,
And
but
then,
if she was gripping the blade, she could do it, but she didn't have cuts on her hands.
Yeah. Also, we saw that the sickle was way away from the site of the murder too. So
100%.
I don't agree with where. I understand where Maki's going with this, but we have evidence to disprove it.
Yes, I think that is accurate.
Yeah.
Are you saying Tenko is the culprit?
She committed suicide.
Suicide?
If she committed suicide, it would explain a lot of things we couldn't figure out. She volunteered to be in the cage and then stabbed herself during the seance. It wouldn't matter how dark the room was.
But the sickle she was stabbed with was under the floor, right?
Yeah.
If Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
Oh my god. Mew actually said something smart.
I love how you read that line. That was hilarious.
Perhaps that explains why the floorboard was removed. After stabbing herself with the sickle, she threw it underneath the floor.
And then she just did that real quick as she was dying?
So she took off the floorboard to get rid of the sickle?
Yes, that makes sense to Gonta.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me. There's no reason for Tenko to commit suicide.
Maybe I wasn't too far off with the theory I had earlier. You know, about Tenko killing Angie.
Yeah?
Because Tenko and Angie were fighting for your attention, right?
Oh, yeah, great. Put this on
Yeah,
Himiko.
yeah, great.
Hey, Angie! When did you brainwash Himiko?
Tenko's pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity. Her conscience couldn't handle it anymore, so she decided to end her own life.
What?
But if she was gonna kill herself, why do it during the seance?
She wanted to hide the truth of her suicide.
Yeah, I don't know if I know I was saying earlier how interesting it'd be if it was like this Tenko, Himiko, Angie thing, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if Tenko would have killed Angie. That's the thing. She's too good. She was good. I don't think
That's
she
fair.
had in her to do that. But also, I could be wrong. This whole game is about, games.
I mean, there's a lot of times where you don't really know people's deal until after even the trial's over.
That's very true.
But
yeah. Like definitely with Ryoma. Like there was so
yeah,
much.
with Kirumi.
Yeah, and Kirumi. Yeah.
Really?
Like
Why?
they had a whole separate plot line happening between the two of them that led to the murder in Blackened happening there that we were just completely not privy to at all.
Yep.
So it's
There could only be one reason to hide it in a killing game, right? It's to take us down with her.
Take us down?
She wanted us to pick the wrong answer during the class trial, so she could bring us all down. She wanted us to die with her.
that doesn't make any sense. Why, Kokichi?
Okay, well, she probably just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
What are you saying? Tenko wasn't like that. She told me.
Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else.
Yeah, see, yeah.
What if all of that was just a lie?
Maybe, but
A lie?
Kokichi just wants to stir. I don't know, but me.
Wait, we should believe Tenko's last words.
The true terror of class trials is that you shouldn't believe everything said.
Right. I mean, Kyo makes a good point. Yeah, like we just said, we don't know anybody's deal until oftentimes way after.
Himiko, you said that Tenko would never do anything like that. But how can you be so sure? Did you guys actually know each other? People keep all sorts of secrets. Like Maki. She hid the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer. Is it wise of us to trust other people wholeheartedly in this kind of situation?
I mean, he's making a point, I suppose. That this is a situation where, at minimum, it is hard to trust everybody, you know?
Jeez, you're such a naive
Yeah, I was about to
dude.
say. I mean, he's eternally a skeptic, whereas it's contrasted against Kaito, who will have faith based on literally nothing other than vibes.
Yep.
And I think that's interesting. Like that, they're sort of dueling perspectives.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're very locked in those perspectives too. Yeah, at least right now.
Naive?
We're all just people, you know? Of course we're gonna have some secrets. What matters is whether there's any malice behind them.
People can lie about how malicious their hidden secrets really are.
Well, duh. It's impossible to know for sure what others are thinking. That's why it all comes down to whether or not you believe in yourself.
I was like, I like where this conversation's going, and then
I mean,
yeah, but I
this is
mean,
his deal though.
Yep, exactly.
If you get betrayed, it's not their fault. It's your fault for believing in them. That's why I believed in Maki Roll, because I wanted to believe in her.
Just because you're acting all cool doesn't mean you get to skip training.
Hey, come on. Don't you think you're being a little too strict?
Well, we come from different backgrounds. So for now, let's agree to disagree.
That's so interesting.
No one's ever called me naive before. And from Kaito? Seriously?
He's so like, huh.
No, he's like, I don't know how I felt about that.
I suddenly feel very defanged here. Fascinating.
Whether or not I believe, my heart can't reach Tenko anymore. But I want to believe in her. She wouldn't commit suicide. She wouldn't try to take us down.
Who's been quiet so far? Sorry, I just need to take a step back here. I mean, Gonta is always just... Gonta? I don't know.
Yeah.
Kibo's been kind of quiet. Samugi's been kind of quiet.
Yeah,
Trying to
probably
think,
the quietest is Samugi, but she also opened.
Yeah, she did.
And it's not really come back around to her turn yet.
I mean, opening is an interesting strategy if you are, the culprit.
That's fair.
So, there's that.
I think everyone's had a moment. I was gonna say, actually, Maki's been kind of quiet, but that may be just because she talks so much in the lead up that, yeah.
Yeah. And she's been jumping in on stuff, though. I'm just trying to think of, and I guess the 3 people who have also been quiet are all student council members as well.
That's true.
I don't know. I was just thinking about, like, in the last one, how Kirumi was kind of, like, Kirumi kind of led and then went quiet, right?
Yeah, she would jump in. She gave herself away on where she jumped in. It's actually a really interesting one to watch, like, if you know what's going on. Because she's actually kind of obvious. In a weird way. Is frankly her only tell is just where and how she jumps in.
That's funny.
But yeah.
Okay. Huh. All right. Let's keep going.
That's what I want to believe.
Obviously strong. I'm not saying it, you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. If you know what you're looking for,
yes.
it's a good little hint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Me too. Gonta no can believe Tenko commits suicide.
But if Tenko did commit suicide, I would answer all of our questions.
If you insist we believe in Tenko, then provide a reason to do so.
A proper reason.
All right, I'll give you a reason.
You will?
Is there a reason?
Yeah.
Yes, there is. Will you trust me, Maki?
What?
Is it lying
If
time?
it turns out I'm wrong, you can blame me all you like.
I guess he's like, all right, well, there's no way to get around this situation.
Yeah, I'll make up a reason.
If they want to
I hadn't been listening earlier to whether there was a background music. I should pay more attention.
I wasn't paying attention
I've just
either.
been vibing.
Yeah. No, it's totally fair. I guess, exactly, if they're all saying, we want to believe that this is what happened, and she's just like,
give them a reason.
Let's give them a reason to believe that.
But for now, I need you to trust in my detective work.
That's a, hey, I'm about to lie and you've been there the whole time. Don't say anything.
Yes, that's a keep your mouth shut and back me up if you need to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't believe Tenko would kill herself because of what she said. Okay, everyone. I'll see you guys after the seance.
Yeah.
She said, see you guys after. I doubt she had a sudden change of heart.
I guess we can't really say that because that's not really
That's not evidence, so yeah.
And even the people in the seance, what if they corroborate that? And be like, yeah, I heard her say that, But I guess, I don't know. This is interesting. Because if we're going to convince everybody that she did kill herself.
We're not. We're doing the opposite.
I guess, are we doing the opposite?
Yeah, we're just saying, we're about to come up with a reason why we know she didn't.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping. But
Yeah.
okay. Interesting.
Kyo said, give us a reason to believe in Tenko.
Oh, to believe in Tenko.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Just because we don't know how she was killed doesn't mean that it was suicide.
Right, yes.
We shouldn't be satisfied with that. And if we keep thinking, we'll find the truth. And that means we have to believe in Tenko.
It's so interesting how much of this game is, I'm going to believe in this thing in the moment, which means I'm going to have to, like, fudge the truth and lie, or, like...
It's trusting things over evidence. It's
yes!
trusting people over evidence.
Yes! And that's been a consistent theme throughout this whole game so far. Like, of Shuichi have to be being like, all right, I just have to believe this because I know that the truth of the greater thing is there. But in this moment, I just have to believe in whatever this person is saying. I have to believe in this person.
Yeah, whatever it takes to get there, and I have faith.
Wow. Fascinating. Okay.
I'll make them believe.
Okay. I'll stop debate.
Okay. Obviously, you can hear the background theme going.
Yeah.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her.
Yeah, I can hear it.
So she hid her
Sorry,
true intentions.
I didn't read the... Okay, we had Monokuma fell through Cage Child. Tenko's last moments.
Did commit suicide.
Tenko's last moments.
Well, we'll see.
It would
Yeah.
explain how she
Hole
died
in the
during
wild.
the
We're
seance.
lying, remember? So we have to,
She could have secretly brought the sickle. And then stabbed herself with it.
Okay.
Finally,
that was
with
funny.
the last of her
Text.
strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor. All
That was
the
it.
pieces.
With the last of her strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
okay.
thinks that Tenko committed to... That's why he was targeting Maki. Because he was like, hey, Maki, you're the one who told me this, and I'm about to lie about it. So be chill. Be cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone thinks Tenko committed suicide. But only because they're latching onto the easiest answer. To get out of this, I need to make them think their suicide theory won't work.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
I want to see what Tenko's last moments is. Okay. Crouch position, the injury in her back, of her neck is deep, but probably not enough to kill her immediately.
We're probably going to say that it was an insta-kill, and therefore she couldn't have thrown it.
Yep.
Which
yep.
Maki's going to be like, I mean, not technically.
Yeah.
Her plan was to take us down with her.
Then let me get to that moment.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a thing in front of it I need to clear out as well, which is usually a good indication.
The sickle.
Brought the sickle.
And
No.
then
Well, there's a
stabbed
thing in front of
herself
you.
with it.
Yes, yeah, one in front of that
The
one too.
last of her
This.
strength.
Yeah.
This,
Hold on.
But you have to lie. You have to lie.
Shit.
threw
Which
the
is like the
sickle
hold down.
underneath the floor.
I think.
You're asking the wrong person.
I don't
know.
remember what the thing was for lying.
We'll just practice, yeah.
Truth. It's
Hold.
hold to lie. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
But you have to hold until it does the full
The
thing.
full run around.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that means I
far,
have
suicide
to
seems-
get that shit out of the way and hold down to lie.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Finally, with the last of her strength.
Okay. We need to get that out of the way. We need to hold and then lie.
There we
Okay.
go.
There we go.
The truth.
Perjury!
Perjury?
I will reveal the truth. I love that he
Tenko
says that
couldn't
there.
have thrown the sickle under the floor. Because she died instantly.
This is so interesting.
Instantly.
Isn't that right, Maki?
Isn't that right, Maki? Yeah, we both saw the body.
Her death might not have been instant, but she couldn't have gotten far before she bled out.
Yeah.
I'm certain of it. My investigation determined that she died instantly.
What's your opinion, Maki? I'd like to hear from someone who specializes in murder.
I wonder if something will happen at the end of this whole game where it just becomes revealed to everyone that Shuichi's been lying about stuff. That would be really interesting. Or if Kokichi comes forward, maybe
Because
Kokichi...
Kokichi definitely already knows.
Yeah, Kokichi clocks every moment that we lie.
Yeah.
So, like, he's got to be holding on to each of those as something, you know? I don't know.
Maki.
You're right. I completely forgot about that important detail.
The way she said that.
Tenko died instantly.
What?
As an assassin, I specialize in killing my targets swiftly. I have no doubt that Tenko was killed immediately.
Thanks, Maki.
Thank you, Maki.
Words of a true killer. Pretty sure we can believe everything
Well, now
she said.
she knows we lie.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
Now he knows. Yeah, he knows that we
and
lied.
Kaito
and he
knows. Kaito also corroborated a lie early on.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. He did.
Kaito.
In another case. Yeah.
Yeah, we know. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maki.
How could you forget that, Maki roll? You better apologize to Shuichi.
Kaito!
Kaito!
Excuse me?
It's okay, Kaito, really. No apology necessary. Anyway, Tenko died so suddenly that she couldn't have gotten rid of the sickle. Knowing that, the theory that she killed herself just doesn't fit, correct?
Just like I thought. Tenko wouldn't commit suicide.
Thank goodness, Himiko.
Which means someone definitely killed Tenko during the seance.
Okay, so we have determined that Tenko
We've narrowed it down. Yep.
Tenko was killed during the seance inside the cage and not by herself.
Yep.
Yep.
Her suicide was considered because we could not determine how she was killed.
No, there must have been a way. We're gonna figure it out.
Kaito.
Did any of the participants witness anything peculiar during the seance?
Loud noise.
If you know something, please speak up. It could be the key to solving this mystery.
Those are sweetly phrased. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I don't know why.
something.
Yeah, if you saw something, please speak out. You know, anyway.
If you see something, say something.
If you saw something, say something.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. We should remember what happened during the seance. There's a long song. Let me try to remember. I'm sure there's something.
I gotta spell it, huh?
I need some technical for to solve mystery. A spelling time. Maybe it's noise. It could be something simple like noise.
It's gotta be. Oh no, non-stop debate.
Shocker.
Never mind. All right. It's gotta be
can't lie in this
sound
one.
during. No,
Did
I don't
anything
hear the
seem out
noise.
of the ordinary during the seance?
Yes.
There is something that bothers me.
Maybe we'll be
The
agreeing.
fact that the seance failed.
Okay, bud.
God
The
damn
ritual
it.
was perfect, and yet it failed.
It could be. Oh no, that's perfect.
That's to agree.
Now that I think about
According to Kokichi, it was.
Yeah.
we were all singing the song.
Oh, we're gonna agree.
Something
Yes.
Oh. Get out of here. God damn it. Fuck.
The double whip again.
Double whipping all the way. Yeah, I know. I'm not even gonna let you read that.
All right, go for it.
I just want to agree.
Sorry.
Now that I think about it. While
Go.
we were all singing the song,
Singing.
I heard something.
Come on.
Lead your shot. We've been over this.
I know. It's drifting. It's drifting.
I know, that's why you shoot ahead, not behind. Shoot on where it's gonna be.
It's like I haven't played a shooter before. It's the setting. Come on. Hello?
I'm more concerned about how dark it got in there.
You might have hit the edge of it.
I actually might have hit the edge of it.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
right.
I think it would have
Moving along the walls.
been like,
was
no,
silly.
that can't be right
It
because
would've-
of da da da.
Yeah, I think I
You
hit.
actually hit it.
I think I hit the words next to it.
Yeah.
All right, fuck the V spot. We're just gonna. That's what I keep focusing on. Which
All singing.
yeah.
Heard something.
Get out of here.
Okay, there we go. Jeez.
I kept trying
Consent.
I kept trying to get the V spot and I just couldn't.
I believe you could have.
I
but
could have, but I
It
couldn't.
fought back hard.
You think that something fell because of that sound you heard, right?
Okay, so are we all gonna say yes? We all heard a sound.
Mm-hmm.
The big thunk. Singing, 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 singing. Bang. Oh, it says bang now instead of thump. Huh. Or thunk. It was a big noise.
It was a big noise.
It's a really big noise.
It sounded like something heavy fell down and hit the floor really hard.
That would be, I mean, the only thing I can, no, never mind. I was going to say, like, that could be the sound of, like, the cage and the dog falling down. Being lifted and dropped back down. But that'd be crazy.
I mean, there's
like,
that would be Gonta.
That would be Gonta, yeah.
There's only one person who could do that.
Yeah.
What could have fallen down?
Fallen down? There wasn't anything on the ceiling that could have fallen down,
Unless
right?
it was somebody falling down. Unless it was Kokichi falling down and smacking his goddamn head on the
Did
ground.
that later. That's true, but that was later.
Yeah, okay. That's why I was saying
He
all
wasn't
that.
bleeding in the CGs afterwards. Yeah.
Oh, right, because he was in the room.
So
right.
unless he stoppered it.
He smacked his head
Pulled
later.
the plug later. And just that's how wounds work, right?
Yeah, totally. He stopped. Like it's a fucking air mattress losing air.
Am I wrong? I thought something fell, but
The sound was pretty loud. It did seem like something hit the floorboards.
A loud sound. Like something hit the floorboards. Maybe that sound had something to do with the other thing that happened in the dark?
You mean murder? What's the other thing that happened in the dark?
I like being vague.
What?
Because I know.
Oh, I have to pick? What was the other thing that happened in the dark? Yeah, my knees are hung upside down. No. Forehead injury. No. What was
Probably the song?
The song, the dog statue.
Dog statue.
What? The loose floorboard?
This is it.
Oh. Sure.
Was it
The loose floorboard moving?
I
Yeah.
know I've had something to do with that sound.
That's what it was.
That's
It was
fair.
like the floorboard. I mean, I guess if it had a person braced against it, and then you're moving it, it like falls back down or something.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
That floorboard came loose at some point during the seance, right?
Okay.
could the floorboard have made such a loud sound though?
That's a good question. That's kind of where I was like,
It was the sound of an intense impact.
If the impact was that intense, then it could have loosened the floorboard.
Oh, like that. There was something that loosened the floorboard from a big impact. The fuck? I'm trying to think of things that we have that could be big impacts. I mean, other than like we have the dog statue and we have the cage, which we both know are really heavy.
Yeah, but the salt wasn't disturbed afterwards.
But the salt wasn't disturbed, exactly. Was there anything heavy that could have been from underneath that then got removed? I don't know. Okay.
That's true. There would have been a strong impact to make that sound. There would have had to be a strong impact to make that sound. But what was it? What could it possibly be?
All right, then, let's go with that. We all gotta put our heads together now.
Oh, okay. Non-stop debate again. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about.
Sound during the seance, magic circle correctio
Someone made
drew.
the floorboard come loose.
I think that's probably going to be that.
Judging
Cross
from
piece
the
under the
sound,
floor.
there must have been
There's that,
considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
Culprit hide under floor. Then stood up with such might.
Stood up.
I already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
Whoa, it
A floorboard
spins.
that comes loose when you step on it is dangerous. God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls
Is
to
there
see
chanting in the
that,
back of this one?
Don't be
Yeah.
stupid.
Okay, there's a back route here.
Don't you know me and Balls are the best of friends?
Amazing.
What are the options?
I'll run through them again. I don't remember. Would have been strong enough to knock the floorboards loose. Okay.
So what made the
Magic
floorboard
circle,
come loose?
cross piece under the floor,
Judging
dry
from the
blood
sound,
under the
there must
floor,
have been considerable
sound during the
force.
seance.
Someone who participated
circle.
in the seance.
I kind of want to figure out what the lie is, but
Yeah, a little part of me is like, that's interesting. One of the cross pieces that support the loose floorboard in the room of the seance. So one portion of the floorboard was cut off. It probably wasn't broken naturally. It looks like someone cut it on purpose. Okay, and then there was... Is this one of them? No.
Maybe that person.
Yeah,
it is.
Dry blood under the floor. A small amount of blood was on the ground under the floor. It's quite far from when Tenko's blood was dripping. Do we think that that is someone who hit their head on the floorboard or hit them on the way down?
the problem is that could be the lie. Stood up with such might, dried blood under the floor.
That could
I
be
don't know.
That could be a lie.
That could be a lie. That doesn't sound right, but it could be wrong. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't even know.
I kind of like that idea, though. Magic circle, Korekio drew. Magic circle was drawn on the floor. It was drawn on the floor of the room in seance. After Tenko's body was found, the magic circle was trampled on. That made it impossible to check the original shape. Interesting.
Yeah?
And then sound during seance. During the seance, there was a loud sound, which we already used that. Dog statue is one, I think. Is that right?
Who off the floorboard?
No.
That
Cross
wouldn't
piece.
make such a loud crashing sound.
I kind of like dry blood under the
Maybe
floor
the
as a
wooden
lie.
statue fell over.
Can I try
But
that?
that statue
We can
was
try?
still on top
Yeah,
of the
there's no
cage.
reason
That's
not to
kind
try.
of wild.
Hide under floor. Then stood up with such might.
No,
No.
not that one.
If the culprit hit their head that on that tough floorboard, they would be dead.
They stood up so hard they died.
Bold. It's a bold narrative direction.
Okay, Maki. That was a one where we're like, Maki, we're trying to lie here.
And she's like, no, I'm not letting you do this one. Sorry, I've done it once.
Okay.
This one's dumb.
All right. Sorry, Maki. All right. So
what
not
made
that.
The floorboard come loose?
I feel like this track's
Judging from
different,
the
by the
sound,
way.
there must have
Is it
been
not a lie
considerable
track?
Well, it's definitely got the
Someone
chanting, but only half the
participated
time.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
They came in for a little bit.
Yeah, it comes in.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing
Which is
sound.
weird.
Maybe
Okay.
the
Okay,
wooden
it's back.
statue
I don't
fell
know.
over.
But
Magic
that
circle-
statue was still on
Magic
top of the
circle,
cage.
Korekio drew.
Culprit hide under floor.
I kind of think it might be something to do
Then
with his
stood
dry
up with
blood on
such
the floor,
might.
though.
But
Do I
we
have to?
already
Do I have
said
to
there was
grab
no
one?
under the floor.
Again, I don't remember
we
whether we
grab.
can.
Because like lying is a big thing. Like
Yeah,
no,
I don't
look,
think you can grab and shoot.
you can't grab and shoot.
Yeah.
Because what would normally be grab and shoot is hold to lie.
Yeah.
So select the truth, but fast forward. Yeah. What the fuck?
Loose when you step on it is
spinning one.
dangerous.
Okay.
God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to see that, Mew.
Yeah, dirty
I mean,
joke.
if we don't want to do do we not want to? Do we
know
want to
me
just
and Balls
assume
are the
there
best
isn't a
of
back route
friends.
here, or that we don't want to do it?
I'm gonna say that no back route / don't do it.
Because especially because the music's weirding me out.
Yeah, I don't trust it, so I'm gonna try and actually get the right answer.
Okay.
Here. What would have made a strong enough impact to knock the floorboard loose? I think about everyone's testimony and combine it with the facts.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound,
I'm assuming
there
it's the
must have
cross
been
piece
Yeah.
because that we already know
Someone
from
who participated in the
Kokichi
seance.
that you can fall right through.
Maybe that person
Right.
tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Okay, but what are
Maybe
we
the wooden
refuting?
statue fell over.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
Right.
Culprit hide under floor. Then stood up with such might.
I think they fell down. No, cross piece. No, that's not right.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the
That,
floor.
I think.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay, I got it.
Okay,
Yeah,
there we go.
okay.
I agree.
So they stomped through, and they made they fell.
Well,
Is that what he's saying?
yeah.
Well, let's see.
Kokichi is right. The floorboard came loose because someone stomped on it.
Okay, I mean, unless that's like what someone stomped on it to get down. Hold on, let them talk to this.
Floorboards fit perfect. Going to make sure first time we go to empty room.
When we first saw the room, yes. But when I looked again during the investigation, one of the cross pieces supporting the floorboards was cut off. After examining the cut, I concluded that it must have been done deliberately.
Someone? You mean the culprit, right? Why'd they do that?
What did the culprit stand to gain by cutting the cross piece?
What did they stand to gain? That's the question. To solve this case, I'll need to think carefully about the cross piece and the floorboard.
Okay, now we're gonna spell something, right? Or maybe not.
Tenko's body was at one end of the loose floorboard.
So she's like levered there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well, she's like keeping it levered.
She's keeping it levered.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the cross piece that had been cut was on the other end of the floorboard. The unsupported part was outside the cage, so it could have been stomped on.
Outside, it was outside of the cage.
Only
That's
one
right.
of the cross pieces was cut, and the other two were intact.
Outside of the cage. So like someone could have been outside of the circle. Or outside of the, underneath the floor. And stomped it. What the fuck? Sorry, I'm just thinking about this. Okay.
One of them was right under Tenko. And the other was in the center, right about where the edge of the cage was.
So if they levered it, it would have made a big crash because they had to move the dog and the cage to move the board, right?
No, it wouldn't. It only would have moved her.
Oh, because it's
If you slam
it's
that down, it's
counter-levered
gonna
there.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the cage is braced on one side on sturdy and on the other side on a thing. So it just would have.
Yeah, I see.
But it probably would. I mean, it would have moved the cage somewhat.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay. This diagram is helpful.
What was the culprit attempting to achieve by stomping on the floorboard? Come on, think.
Hangman's Gambit. 2 words. Anagram. How do I do the blink again? Like this. S-E-A?
Seesaw?
Seesaw? I can... S? Okay. Really? Seesaw... Seesaw what? The cage?
We'll find out. Just
Okay.
get Seesaw first.
Let's get Seesaw. Good call with that.
I saw a bunch. I just looked at the letters.
That letters, yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the... do we have a W?
And we were talking about counter levering.
Yeah.
I think there's one down there.
Oh,
There it is, yeah.
Oh, good call. Good catch. Seesaw. Floor. No. What would be the next word? What are we? There's no B for like board or anything. See, let me try T. No. Damn it. I don't know what the next word is supposed to be. I'm just gonna be trying letters.
Yeah.
C.
There's a lot of E's.
There's a lot of E's. Is this it? There's it over here. Oh, it moved around. Seesaw.
There's a lot of E's, a lot of effect.
A seesaw effect? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that's a good call. Where's my next F?
It didn't need that second word. I think
No.
seesaw would have done it.
Seesaw would have been fine. They're like, we gotta make it longer. And then
there's a C.
C right
And
here.
then a T right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Seesaw effect. Yeah. All right.
Sure.
That's what we were saying.
Seesaw.
So, yeah.
That's right. The floorboard might have been used as a seesaw.
Mm-hmm.
A seesaw?
The crosspiece at one end of the floorboard had been cut off. The other two cross pieces holding up that board were close to the cage. Meaning, if you were to apply force to the end of the floorboard with no crosspiece,
You could lift it, right? Lift the board and yeah. Whoop.
the next crosspiece would act as a
Oh.
fulcrum to turn the floorboard into a lever.
Now that's interesting. If you've got the sickle like in there, and then you counter lever or you lever into the sickle. But we didn't see any evidence of the sickle there. But who was the last person to interact with the cage and the body? It was Kyo, right?
Well, everyone put the dog on top at the end.
Right. But who did that? Who was there? So Kyo put the sheet.
We and Korekio did the cage.
Yeah.
Kyo did the sheet, and everybody did the dog.
Okay.
And then on the reverse order, Himiko did the cage on her own.
Right. And we saw that the sickle ends up kind of far away.
It was over in a corner.
It's over in a corner. But Maki did make a point that the sickle was a good weapon that you could hide it in your clothes.
That is true.
So
Yeah.
it's possible that maybe if Kyo was walking it over when he was setting up the sheet, he could put it like he could like
have placed
sleight
it
of hand it.
and then hit it in his jacket.
Yeah, and then he places the sheet over top, and then the dog is there, and then what is it? Kyo does the jump, and
Bam,
and stabs her in the neck. But I don't know how that disposes of the sickle way over there. I don't know how that would happen
unless it happened later.
Yeah, unless something like that happened whenever. Oh, you know what? Maybe whenever the cage gets thrown off, the sickle falls down the hole over there.
Well, but Himiko removes the cage.
Right. Yes.
And if it was inside the cage, it would have. I mean, possibly. That's possible.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's possible.
Okay.
It is over towards. If the orientation is consistent, it did seem to be over towards the hole. So yeah, that's possible.
I don't know. This is interesting because then that means Kyo's a suspect. I mean, I guess he always has been. Everybody's a suspect, but okay.
A lever capable of lifting up Tenko's entire body.
So now we're thinking that like it was not somebody under the floor. It could have been. It was someone in the seance.
Yeah.
That hopped on the.
If this
board.
is the solution, then it kind of has to be somebody in the seance.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly right.
Unless the hole in the corner is too small for. Well, you can remove a board, but that would have made another.
Yes.
Crashing noise.
It's
so,
still
yeah.
too heavy, and I think that hole is too small for somebody
on its own, yeah,
to slip through. I think it's more important that the boards are not nailed down so that they can move.
Yeah.
Rather than like
for people to come up and down.
Yeah, crawl around under there. Yeah. Damn, Kyo.
Her whole
Shit.
body.
I'm assuming Kokichi was there too. but if we're going again, I feel like all of this is order of operations. It's got to be the order of like when the body was approached and everything, and like who was the last person to interact with the body in a way where they could have slipped the weapon into its place in the cage or something.
Yeah,
you know.
No, I like how you're approaching this. I think it makes sense.
And that would have gotten the blood spatter on the cage and on the sheet.
Yeah, because it'd be really close.
Yes. And the dog statue is heavy enough that it could probably hold everything in place as well. So like
even if the seesaw was going,
yes,
yeah, the cage would stay in place.
It's super heavy, so it holds the cage in place. It holds the sickle in place if the sickle's like wedged in there, you know? Like,
yeah.
Now what the wild thing is, how the hell does a sickle end up underneath the floor?
Well, yeah, that's the question. Yeah.
Unless, no. I mean, we all removed the dog statue, and then did Kyo remove the sheet? He said do it in the exact order. He
removed
reversed.
the sheet, but then Himiko came in and threw the cage.
So it's possible that he could have removed the murder weapon when he was removing the sheet.
Yeah, that's possible.
And like tossed it down the hole.
Or done.
Or done anything. Like
there were a lot of eyes on everybody then, but there's a lot of different ways it could have ended up there.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, interesting. Kyo.
Yeah, that sounds like a seesaw, all right. But why bother lifting Tenko's body?
I was gonna call it out too. Kyo was the first one to ask Monokuma the question about the double. About the murders, about the double. Like, if there are two murderers, what does that mean? You know?
Yeah, but would Kyo have killed somebody before getting that answer? I mean, Tenko died, so clearly,
It seems like he would not have got. I mean, he just didn't have that answer because the Cubs didn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to get that answer.
Yeah.
And maybe just assumed,
That's fair.
So, like, that was his blunder.
That whole situation is very interesting just because of the fact that the Cubs simply didn't have an answer.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Which maybe implies they'd never been asked.
Uh-huh.
Which is interesting also.
Which means that Kyo would not have asked beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was Kyo. Again, I'm assuming that maybe it's Kyo killing Tenko here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They couldn't have killed Tenko like that. Unless they used the sickle.
That's exactly it. Using the seesaw trick, it was possible to kill Tenko with a sickle.
I think Shuichi's about to say the thing that I just talked all the way through.
Huh? How?
In order for the culprit to kill Tenko with a seesaw trick, the placement of the sickle is the most important factor.
Man, that would be like... but see, this is interesting, because if Kyo is the murderer, but Kyo is safe technically and, like, won't get punished...
Unless Kyo also killed Angie.
That's
what's interesting about this trial is just we're doing a deep dive on Tenko, but Angie ultimately is the trick here.
Yes. Yeah. That is true. Oh man, after everything I said about Kyo and all the hanging out we did.
It's such a funny way to frame it, like whether or not
if that is what happens every single time. Well, not every time, but like just that'd be super interesting. And they're like they were buds. Oh shit. Okay.
The floorboard seesaw, the cage, and the blood on the white fabric.
The amount of like bodily like, oh man, I'm feeling right now is like I could feel it in like my bones. It might not be him, but
what conclusions can I draw from this? There's only one place the sickle could have been that is consistent with the evidence.
Can I pick it out? On top of the cage.
That's it!
Yeah.
Got it.
I don't like that I got it.
The sickle was at the top of the iron cage, with the blade facing down.
It is very funny how you're like fidgeting and like...
I'm upset. I'm upset!
Scratching your arms.
Yeah. You should see how uncomfortable I am.
The reason we didn't see it was because of the fabric covering the cage. Also, the wooden statue kept the blade in place.
Your knees bouncing.
Sorry, I'm really upset.
No. I get it.
It's true that the sickle's handle was thick, which made the statue wobble. But the statue's weight kept it from falling over.
Mm-hmm.
Once everything was in place, if you stepped hard enough on the seesaw, Tenko's body would have shot upward and hit the blade on the top of the cage.
I will say, it is still interesting that Himiko suggested the middle room.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, Himiko suggested the middle room.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Kyo planned for her to suggest the middle room. Or if they if they did this together, I would be. I don't know. That doesn't make it. I don't, I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think back on the conversations to see.
Kokichi fell through a floor in another room.
He did. He fell through it in another room. You are correct.
In a different room.
Yeah. So, implying that all 3 rooms were potentially set up for this situation. That maybe we cut the same cross beam in all rooms. Interesting. Okay.
At minimum, it potentially, unless it's a really good lie, it rules out Kokichi.
It does rule out Kokichi.
Yeah. Kokichi would have had to give himself a concussion.
Yes, yeah.
And reveal that this maybe was in other rooms as well.
Right,
yeah.
and that would potentially rule out Himiko as well, because Himiko wouldn't have known that all 3 of the rooms had the crossbeam cut out. And so it wouldn't matter which room she picked.
Yeah, but that doesn't, it doesn't rule her out necessarily.
That's true.
Because any room would be correct.
That is true, that's true. So, yeah, we could just pick anyone.
But yes, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. And this all kind of hinges on understanding how the caged child seance is set up as well, too.
Although Korekiyo did tell everybody how it was set up ahead of time.
That's true. So everyone did know about this one. Yeah.
And a book describing it has been in his lab for...
She was bent over.
Yeah.
Meaning the sickle's blade would have connected with her neck.
So that's brutal. That's rough. Yeah, that's super fucking brutal. And that's why she was all jostled whenever she...
Yeah, because when it landed back down.
Yeah. Oh my god.
The 6-inch sickle blade wasn't long enough to stab Tenko in her crouched position. But with the floorboard acting as a seesaw, it could compensate for the blade's length.
That's wild.
Bringing the victim to the sickle rather than bringing the sickle to the victim. That's definitely an unorthodox idea.
Thanks, Kibo. Yeah.
It's crazy, but it would explain how Tenko got stabbed while she was in the cage.
So no one went into the cage with her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was too small for a person to fit in there and stab at the same as well. And how would you get that amount of force to
It just would have been too hard.
Yeah.
So the sound we heard was the culprit stomping on the floorboard.
Yeah, and Kyo is also maybe someone tripped.
All the kills in this game are so vicious.
Yeah. They really are.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game, it goes really hard with all of the murders.
Yeah.
That impact make floorboard come loose.
Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned seesaw homicide.
Oh, yeah.
That classic.
Yep.
Wait, what the hell's a seesaw homicide? That's fucking crazy!
The craziness is what really makes the killing game fun, you know? They can't get away with murder the normal way, so they gotta think outside the box.
Or outside the cage, in this situation.
Kudos, culprit! You did a great job keeping me entertained.
Indeed. Well played, Himiko.
Yeah?
It was you, wasn't it? The one behind the seesaw homicide.
Interesting. Interesting.
Why her?
Because she's the only one capable of carrying out this plan.
I don't think so.
The only one? Why's that?
What are you proposing here?
Because this seesaw homicide required its location to be prepared beforehand.
We talked ahead, I think is what's going on here. Which happens.
Yeah. He's gonna say, well, Himiko picked the middle room, so, and we're gonna be like, no, that's not the linchpin in this situation. Yeah, and we're gonna be like,
but we only know that because of Kokichi.
That's what I'm gonna say. We're gonna probably bring up Kokichi's account into this.
Yeah.
Do
you want to bring it up next time, though?
Ah, you're right. We should. Oh, Gina, you just fucking came out and sideswiped me with that one. I just feel like I got tripped. I just feel like I fell down this hole in the floor.
I was getting the vibe that we were just gonna finish this case. So we have to cut it off somewhere.
No. This is good. We should, because now my sights are on Korekiyo here, and what he just did right now is very interesting. And, yeah.
Oh no.
Well, now I don't know who killed Angie, but I think, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's possible that it was still Kyo for both of them. And, yeah. But why would he kill Tenko? Like, that's sort of my question. Like, unless there was something going on with Tenko and Angie and Korekio. I'm sorry. You wanted to end the episode. We should end the episode.
No. I enjoy the theorizing.
Yeah.
And also, it seemed at one point that it was supposed to be Himiko under the cage too. So that's also interesting. If it's
correct. Yeah. Okay.
Big old shrug there, but
if he was trying to kill Himiko, actually, and that Tenko threw a wrench in the plan and said, "Oh, it'll be me." And what is he gonna do? Say, "No, it's got to be Himiko."
We're no longer doing the seance.
Yeah, like seance is canceled.
Let's come back together tomorrow.
Yeah.
And try this again then.
Oh, buddy. Okay, yeah, we gotta end it. I'm gonna go sit on this for a while and come and cool down a little bit.
Sounds good. See you next time, folks.
Bye.